Some viewers may find this disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hi my loves, it's Destin.Choice and you're watching Choice TV. For today's video, I kind of wanted to release a lot of my unpopular opinions, and I wanted a reason to talk my shit and talk about a lot of my unpopular opinions that I've really held in. So I wanted to get on here and talk about a plethora of different subjects that might rub people the wrong way, but per usual, I don't give a fuck, and these are my unpopular opinions and these are not facts. So yeah, be ready. My first unpopular opinion is Lil Tay ain't shit and neither is her ugly ass brother and enabling bitch mom. So if you guys didn't know, Lil Tay was pretty popular back in 2018 and she used to do a lot of, horrendous videos flexing on people, talking about being 9 years old and being the youngest flexer.
I'm only 9 years old, this Lil Tay, and I'm richer than all y'all broke ass, jigglypuff looking ass niggas. I'll fuck your mama, cause she a thought, and I'ma become your father by spending money on child support. I'm richer than all y'all broke ass niggas. 30 on my wrist. I'm gonna have my name on one of these stars one day.
We were surprised to find a precocious, soft-spoken 9-year-old whose mom says she's a straight-A student.
Now obviously she was definitely being a troll, and then we find out years later when she did break the internet. Come to find out, a lot of these flex videos weren't real. Her mom was a real estate agent, and her mom was out here putting her in a lot of her clients' cars, and she was even having her daughter flex in her clients' houses to try to build an internet persona, and it worked. Now, essentially, Lil Tay got taken away by her father because her mom and brother were putting her in awkward situations where at 9 years old, this girl was getting pulled up on by gangbangers in California.
You Lil Tay, right? You in trouble? You want to flex? Oh, I want to see you flex one time. I like that fly shit. Alright. She ain't flexing today. She nervous.
Yeah, you gotta put that shit on Instagram.
She nervous. Talk something. The real nigga pull up. They nervous. Alright.
Her family literally fucking sucks. And now she's officially turned 18 years old, and on her 18-year-old birthday, she officially announced her OnlyFans. And now that she's 18, she made a couple $1 million on OnlyFans in literally a matter of hours.
I'm broke as This is the same fit that, this is the only fit. This is the only fit that I own. It's literally the same fit that I was wearing on Rakai's stream. That was months ago. That's why I haven't been posting content. I'm literally broke. Just let a girl get her bag.
So Lil Tay posted this tweet saying, if you're over 25 and still working a 9 to 5, you failed in life. I'm only 18 years old and I'm making millions a week.
You hate on me all you want. You can't say Lil Tay ain't winning. So for everybody out there, do whatever the hell you want with your life. Who gives a f people have to say? And remember this, Lil Tay rich and finna get richer.
So of course he's gonna say stupid shit because many people think at 18, 19 years old, they have the whole world figured out because they're newly grown. However, when you see someone like her say shit like this, yeah, eventually people get knocked off their pedestal. So let's see what happens and let's see where she's at in the next 5 years. Probably working some shit job that she hates and probably sitting up here getting clowned on the internet by the next generation of people who are going to call her old and say that she ain't shit because she passed her peak. Saying that people who work 9 to 5s ain't shit is literally just a reflection of our society because every kid and their fucking mom wants to be an influencer and they think that being rich on the internet and getting internet fame and internet clout is forever, but it's not. Look at someone like Fantasia. Fantasia lost every fucking thing twice, and she's been famous for before Lil Tay was even thought of. Fantasia, of all people, was on American Idol, and she was a huge staple in the early 2000s to the point where she was literally everywhere. And now she's doing radio interviews, a few years back saying that she lost everything twice and that the whole world turned their backs on her and she went through financial hardships and even financial hardships because of who she was dating.
Do you think it's easier being a celebrity, having access to maybe chefs and cooks and money to be able to buy the things you need?
No, because I'm regular. I don't like the whole celebrity thing.
Yeah, but you have more money than we have, Fantasia.
You don't know that.
Okay.
A lot of artists that you see, they look like they have it. And we smile and we come out and we put on a good show. But in real life, some of them are struggling. And we don't have it. I'm just now building myself back up. I lost everything twice. So I cook my own food. I don't have a chef. I go get my own groceries. I don't have a driver. I drive my own car. that is fake. I don't want that life.
Most people who get famous off of bullshit and viral for like nonsense, they eventually go to their own demise. That new Find Him trend on TikTok that's been popular for the past year is stupid as fuck.
I fell in love with somebody who doesn't even know my name, I fell in love with somebody who doesn't even know my name,
Y'all help me find this fine-ass man who walked on my flight and sat next to me.
Grow the fuck up. Y'all know those TikTok trends where women will literally record good-looking guys and be like, oh my god, TikTok, find him. Bitch, you was right there. Didn't you just find him right now? People are fucking weird and have like this new weird new age type of social anxiety where instead of trying to actually approach and say hello to somebody and spark conversation, they're gonna fucking record somebody while they're at work. That trend is dumb as fuck, to record somebody because they look good and then you don't even have the courage to actually approach them. We live in this weird ass society where because of the pandemic and because of people being so glued to their phones, people are scared to fucking make the first move. Lil Nas X is going through a humiliation ritual. Seeing him walk around the streets of Los Angeles in his underwear and make a fool of himself and sing Nicki Minaj lyrics, this looks like a midlife crisis, but low-key a humiliation ritual. So I won't be surprised if he comes out with another album in the next month or two and he ends up blowing up, taking over the world. You know, it kind of reminds me of Glorilla. Like, I always thought Glorilla was, you know, doing weird spiritual shit to be famous, because that moment where she literally caught a DUI and she ended up embarrassing herself on a body cam, she ended up becoming one of the biggest stars literally a few weeks after that. So yeah, be prepared for Lil Nas X to have a new hit record that everybody's talking about. Dslr isn't gonna get shit from that lawsuit and she's wasting her time. So De'Ara Taylor, who we all know from De'Ara and Ken, is currently going through it because, as you guys know, she's suing her ex-boyfriend Ken Walker, and they pretty much were popular for their relationship goal type of content and their corny couple videos that many people caught themselves watching. And yeah, they were cute and very entertaining, but eventually they did break up because, I mean, that guy was fucking cheating on her and fucking the dog shit out of side bitches. You always saw pictures and photos and videos of him intimate and touchy with another woman. And for some reason, Dslr has always just ignored it and tolerated it and defended him. And it was always weird to me because I always knew, yeah, this girl is not fucking happy and she's just protecting him because she cares more about her image than she does about her own peace and sanity, or she's probably cheating as well.
Where I was mistaken, right? So me knowing Dslr, I knew she would get mad with this kind of conversation, right? That was my mistake, from hiding it from Dslr. So in me, either way, in me trying to hide it from Dslr, this is how it transitioned to the email. There was only friendship, period. Never nothing past that, no physical contact.
So we need to address that. You never kissed the girl,
nothing.
You never had sex with the girl. It was nothing physical, it was none of that. It was just talking.
There was just conversation. Friendly conversation.
Dslr, if you guys didn't know, is suing Ken for utmost 6 figures. Suing him for a ridiculous amount of money because they owe mad money in taxes. Taxes that he didn't pay. Taxes that she also didn't pay because they were a joint business. So essentially, when they parted ways, they essentially separated their assets. They had land, they had a car, and they had a lot of other things together that made them a lot of money, such as YouTube channels and a private Snapchat. Essentially, Ken let her have a lot of the pieces that she created, and he kept a lot of his pieces to himself. He owes money on taxes, and she doesn't want to be pinned on probably millions of dollars worth of taxes. And on top of that, she claims that he was squandering a lot of their money and that he didn't pay the taxes that he was meant to pay.
Child. So if you don't know, which you probably do, but if you don't, I am currently suing my ex. Well, I did sue my ex, and you know, when you do a lawsuit, the next step after you file the lawsuit, you have to serve someone, and that has not yet happened yet. So that's currently where we at. So that's basically the update, trying to necessarily serve the person. But my lawyer actually emailed me the other day, and she was just basically saying, like, this person is currently couch surfing. And so when someone don't necessarily have a address, like no bills in their name, no house, nothing is in their name, it's kind of hard to serve them. You can run for me, but one thing you can't outrun is the IRS. So, I mean, hey.
And due to that, she's now having to face obligations for taxes that he should have already paid. But Dslr is kind of at a point where I think she's only acting like this is because she's emotionally detached. She's bitter and she's emotionally detached because she's embarrassed that she's always going to be linked to this person no matter what she does. So, yeah, I'd be bitter too. She ain't going to get nothing because he's fucking broke.
Extensive text messages regarding this. We had a phone call after all our conversations, December 12th at 4 p.m. I think in 2022 this was. Again, this is in text messages. We had a number of conversations on it. People on your team said, hey, you file this personal income, pay the taxes on it. Cool. Never talked about it since. Everything else, Snapchat, the YouTube videos, whatever. It's like, I thought we moved past this years ago.
What the hell do you think you're going to get from him? You're going to get nothing. If he's a broke bitch, then you don't have a choice but to just let it go and take your L. If anything, since she's making mad money, she might as well just pay the shit herself and just let it go. Cardi B really should be forced to take anger management classes because why the fuck is she out here being accused every year of being physically violent? It's almost like every year it's a court case.
We are now waiting to see if Cardi B will face any charges after throwing a microphone at a fan over the weekend who had thrown water on the rapper.
Now, as we all know, she currently is going through it with this woman by the name of Ellis, I think Elaine Ellis, who is accusing her of physically assaulting her because she tried to record Cardi while Cardi was at a doctor's appointment and she was a security guard within the building.
I reported that she touched my face with her finger, sir.
Ma'am, the question is, in your incident report, you told your supervisor 2 days afterwards that you suffered a scratch on your nose and no other scratches were mentioned, correct?
Okay.
What does okay mean? You agree?
I don't agree with what you're saying, but I'm saying okay for the purposes of your question.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what that means, but let's move on.
She's like getting closer and closer. Like now she's like in front of me where I can't even like really maneuver. And I'm like, ain't you supposed to be security? Like you grouped out, you recording me. You're recording me, now you following me. Like back up. And she's like, I can do what I want. It's like, no, you can. Like you can't do what you want.
But I mean, I really wouldn't put it past Cardi B because Cardi B is known for being violent. Let's not forget she has to do community service because she literally had her whole squad throwing chairs and furniture at bartenders because they were allegedly messing around with her husband Offset. Let's also not forget that Cardi B literally threw a mic at a woman's face after she told the crowd to jokingly throw water on her and a woman threw ice. She's known for being violent. I really hope she gets diagnosed and I really hope that she also gets some help because that's not a normal reaction. You know, to hear someone say that Cardi B put her finger in their face and clawed her face and now she wants $24 million, that's an absurd amount of money because why the fuck does somebody need $24 million for because somebody scratched your face allegedly?
Honestly, I think both of their asses are lying. Cardi B needs to just settle, give that bitch $20,000, tell her to go to hell, and if she won't take the settlement, then just honestly wait for the case to get dismissed. Because in the hood, there's a saying that goes, no face, no case. If nobody saw it, ain't no evidence, and as far as we know, since Cardi B is denying the allegations, ain't shit about to get paid out. I wouldn't put it past Cardi though. She is known for being violent.
I shouldn't have to pay for a fucking movie if I already have Amazon Prime. Why on earth am I paying for some shit and I literally have the fucking subscription? Ethiopian food is the best African food across the entire diaspora. End of story. Nigerian food and Moroccan food is in second place, but Ethiopian food is top tier. It's just so diverse. It's just so insane and the seasonings go crazy.
Northwest is being groomed to be the next big superstar. Her parents are putting her, well, her mom is putting her on a silver platter so that way she could build $1 billion empire, and this is all orchestrated and calculated.
If y'all didn't know, Northwest was walking around Italy and she was photographed right next to her mom, and she had on a mini skirt, and she also had on a corset that was showing off her upper body area. I can't believe a 12-year-old was allowed to wear that and her own mother allowed her to walk out the house like that. But if I be honest with you, I think Kim Kardashian is generally grooming her to be a paparazzi magnet. This was all a setup, in my opinion, by her crazy ass family that's obsessed with fame and publicity. I feel like the PR team, if anything, put this together because they wanted to create shock value and surprise the public. I wouldn't be surprised if her family tries to do more stuff, such as trying to organize play dates with men that are 17, 18 years old to store more publicity and more outrage. Seeing a 12-year-old girl wear this and seeing her all done up and the world is questioning why Kim let her walk out like that, that's exactly what they want. They want this popularity. Let's not forget that her mom and Kim were all orchestrating a whole sex tape that plays a role in the whole Kim Kardashian and the whole Jenner empire. Let's not forget that these are the same people that allowed Kylie as a teenager to mess around with a grown-ass Tyga. They're attention whores and they're willing to do whatever it takes to garner popularity and sustain their brand. It's not a shock to me that Northwest is now a paparazzi magnet, because now what's going to happen is every time Northwest leaves the house, the paparazzi are going to be obsessed with photographing her and seeing what she's wearing.
Don't be surprised if she starts getting endorsement deals by Forever 21, Zara, Victoria's Secrets, or even at the Met Gala in a couple of months.
Y'all need to start being more careful in your job interviews. Now, the reason I'm saying this is because y'all are being ghosted in job interviews because a lot of y'all don't realize that you don't fit a criteria because AI said you don't. So y'all know how when you fill out a job interview or you do a job application, they ask you to literally, record a video of yourself why you want the job? Or you know how like a lot of times you do a Zoom interview and they ask you, so tell me about yourself. You really never know if while you're on the phone or on Zoom, they're probably recording your phone call and asking AI what they would rate you.
The next time you interview for a job, you could be assessed by artificial intelligence. This isn't entirely new. Companies have already been using AI to narrow the number of candidates by crawling through resumes and looking for keywords. The way companies are applying it to the interview process is really on the backside, so assessing your qualities and how well you perform in the interview.
I know that AI is kind of scary and maybe even creepy sometimes, but the reality is that it's here and we need to find ways to work with it.
Typically, the candidate will be presented a few questions, either in text or from a recording. Depending on the software, the AI can evaluate things like communication skills, professionalism, and attitude. Ultimately, the AI screening could eliminate you before you ever speak to a human.
So if y'all didn't know, a lot of companies are using thousands of dollars worth of AI software that have, massive reputations to record interviews and figure out if you're a good candidate.
Okay. Can you speak specifically on, because we had one client call in and talk about the Florida Re-Employment Assistance Program. Can you speak specifically on how that works in particular?
Yeah, we have printouts on just about every single.
There's a new software that I'm going to tell y'all about because I don't want y'all getting fucked over called Otter AI. And there's even another platform called HireVue. And there's several more that a lot of HR managers and people who own companies are paying for. Sometimes when you're doing an interview, you're not directly talking to somebody. You're talking to somebody and then they're also having captions on the side, taking notes of everything you're saying. So that way they can document the interview, figure out if you're the right fit and much more. So be mindful of that sometimes they could be doing that to figure out if you're worth it or if you're a liar or not. So that's something to consider when you do interviews. So you better make sure you're on your best behavior and make sure you're saying the right things because you really never know.
So more than likely, you can ask ChatGPT, you can ask AI to listen in on your entire phone interview, and then they can literally break down if you're worth hiring. Keep that in mind when y'all do interviews, that you could be being recorded when you're asked, tell me about yourself. AI can oftentimes map out if you're being dishonest, if you're a good candidate, or if you're a useful person. And although AI can sometimes be reliable, it can sometimes be biased. It doesn't offer human connection at all. It's bullshit, but that's why I always tell y'all, learn how to fucking use AI so it doesn't use your ass right back. Seeing AI now be used for interviews and to figure out which candidate is the best is scary. But AI can do a lot of really scary, weird, creepy, and powerful shit. And let me show you how AI can be a little bit scary. So AI can be scary because look how powerful it is. Hey AI, give my following words of encouragement. They're very sad watching this video, and say it in a very sad voice.
Absolutely, I can do that. So in a softer and more somber tone, hey everyone, I know things might feel really tough right now, and it can be so overwhelming to see how the world is changing. But please know that you're not alone in feeling this way, and we'll get through it together. It's okay to feel sad. and it's okay to take a moment to just breathe. We're all going to fight our way through this, even if it feels hard right now.
That's how powerful AI is. It can mimic human emotions. It can listen to the things you say and do. And all I'm gonna say is this is use AI to make you some motherfucking money. Ask AI or ChatGPT or whatever software you're using, ask it straight up. Tell me where the fuck the hoochie daddies are that are spending mad money. Where can I find a provider that's gonna give me some fucking money in the city that I'm currently in? Ask it shit like that. Or ask it what communities or centers or areas that I can literally explore my expertise in based on my resume, and what's near me in my area, or what areas can I go to find good food and good vibes, or like where can I find good medicinal doctor. Like, use it to make you some fucking money. Learn to use that shit, learn to maximize it, and learn how to make it work in your favor so you can make some fucking money. We talk way too damn much about the Holocaust and not the Congolese massacre that happened almost, if not over 100 years ago. Basically, it was a massacre that involved the harvesting of ivory and a lot of other things such as rubber. But we never hear about these massive genocides that happened in Africa that wiped out just as many Africans just for the sake of rubber and ivory. Now, what's interesting about places like the Congo are very significant to human civilization and advancement. So basically, there was this king named King Leopold literally over 100 years ago that was responsible for the death of over 10 million Congolese civilians. And essentially, it was so gruesome, probably if not more gruesome than the Holocaust, to the point where the Belgian king literally said, if I don't get enough rubber or ivory, which by the way comes from elephants and walrus's tusk, I'm going to slaughter the women in this village. I'm going to rape the children in this village and kill them, and I'm going to ask my soldiers to do the same.
State became anything but free for the people that lived there. A worldwide boom in rubber meant that Leopold II could cash in big time, but tapping rubber from trees was backbreaking work. So to source enough labor, Leopold effectively turned all of the Congo into a slave plantation. The labor policy was known by some as the red rubber system, and it was designed to maximize extraction. The system was enforced by the Force Publique, Leopold's private colonial army, a 19,000-man military with white officers and black soldiers from as far as Zanzibar, Nigeria, Liberia, and even the Congo. Villagers were asked to meet insane rubber quotas. If a village didn't meet its targets, the military were expected to take hostages and shoot them. Women in villages were often held hostage or raped to speed up production. Severed limbs of villagers had to be produced as evidence that each bullet fired had been used to kill a villager. So if a soldier missed a shot, they would often cut off the hand of an innocent victim just so they could produce a limb to show their superiors. If individuals in a village refused to work, they were beaten or shot, and the village was razed to the ground. The red rubber system led to the collapse of economic and cultural life for the Congolese. A system so cruel that female hostages often starved while men were worked to death. Those that tried to flee into forests often died of hunger. Tens of thousands were shot in failed uprisings, and because farming had been disrupted, local Congolese were susceptible to famine and disease. The precise figures are not known, but estimates suggest that between 1880 and 1920, at least 10 million people, or 50% of the entire population, died. Leopold II never set foot in the Congo. But aside from murdering half of its population, he also imported 267 men, women, and children to set up a human zoo on the grounds of his country estate in Belgium.
Now, King Leopold, who was the king of Belgium, legitimately was a monster. He literally harvested and drained the resources of the Congo, and he plays a very big role on why the country is still struggling today. What's sad about King Leopold and this big massacre that killed over 10 million Congolese civilians is the fact that it's not oftentimes talked about in history books. It's not oftentimes addressed, and the current king of Belgium literally apologized back in 2020. There was no justifications, there was no money, reparations given, nothing, just simply words. So we talk about all these other things, all these massacres, we talk about all these things that involve the Holocaust, but we don't talk about this. Then it was so bad to the point where many Congolese citizens were literally forced to harvest rubber. And if y'all don't know anything about rubber, it comes from a tree sap that you literally have to crack open. So oftentimes when you would crack open the rubber trees and you would get the sap that produces rubber, sometimes back then, because they didn't have a lot of advanced technology, the rubber sap would literally get all over their skin. And when it would dry in the sun and harden, it would literally have to be ripped off, which would essentially rip off their skin and rip off their body and so much more. And it was just disgusting. Many of them were forced to literally climb up trees, and they were forced to do hours and hours of labor. And the sad part is, even to this day, the Congolese are being drained for their resources. The phone that you're literally using, the generators that you have in your homes, a lot of other things as well. The laptops some of y'all use, the computers y'all use, a lot of that hardware, a lot of those crystals and jewels and those heavy metals that are used to create the laptops and the phones that you use that are priced at over $1,000, more than likely a lot of those pieces and stones and all that stuff, and even things such as cobalt, which is oftentimes a mineral that's literally able to insulate electricity and handle wiring. Those things are founded in a lot of our devices like PlayStations and game stations and even sometimes car EV batteries.
The miners climbed down using holes carved in the rock and no safety equipment. This most precious of minerals is often extracted and sorted by tiny hands. They don't wear gloves or masks, yet the World Health Organization says exposure to cobalt and breathing in its dust fumes can cause long-term health problems. We visited 5 different mines across the south of DRC and found all used child workers. Monica's the youngest worker in this group at just 4. But even those barely able to walk have lost their childhoods to mining. Natalie's 12 years old. My fingers hurt, she tells us.
So these things are harvested from the Congo, and they're literally picked and mined and shaved down by youth that are literally being paid like pennies an hour. Some of them are literally making up most like $5 a day just to harvest so many minerals that is used in a lot of our technology. And nobody really cares or says anything. That's all I gotta say. Like, they literally exploit people who are from these countries, force them to mine these minerals so that way they can sustain a profit and keep these minerals affordable. And Congo is the reason why a lot of us have iPhones and laptops that work amazing. So that's something that I wish more people talked about more. But of course, the way history is set up, unless it has anything to do with the Uish community, nobody really gives a fuck about massacres and deadly, lynchings and so much more, unless it has to do with the Uish community, who owns most of the media in the society and world we live in. But that's another video for another day. People were being dramatic as fuck about Cindy Sweeney's ad where she claimed that she had good genes. Apparently people were mad because it was kind of a wordplay on genes. So in the commercial, she said she got those good genes. And instead of her talking about actual genes, she was talking about her Eurocentric beauty and her appearance. And many people just felt as though that it was promoting Eurocentric beauty and negating other beauties. And look, I don't give a fuck. That fucking controversy around her ad was fucking stupid. Who the fuck cares? Like, it's hot as fuck outside, and I don't give a fuck about no bitch and her fucking raisins and salad. Like, that might sound kind of harsh, but I don't fucking care. Who the fuck cares? Fuck her and her good genes. I don't care about her, okay? It's not that deep, and people were being very dramatic about that shit. And I don't give a fuck, okay? Next, change the channel. Next topic. People really don't have a justified reason to not like Raven-Symoné's wife. Her wife was literally doing nothing throughout the past couple of years, and people always have the most negative thing to say about her, being annoying. But I understand to some degree because she always makes it seem like she didn't really know who Raven-Symoné was, and she never watched That's So Raven, which I get, and she's made it clear numerous times that she makes more money than Raven. So she's not with Raven for benefits or type of attention, whatever people may assume.
Part of why I feel like I have to stand like 10 toes down about it and speak with my whole chest is because so many people think I married Raven just for money.
So say I didn't. Say I'm richer.
I do. That's what I just did.
So just do it right here.
I didn't marry Raven for money. I'm richer. I married Raven because I'm really attracted to her, even her boobs, and she might remove them and that's fine with me because I don't care.
She's actually chill, down to earth, and easy to listen to. She doesn't have a bad energy about her. Some people just literally base their judgment on Raven-Symoné's wife because people didn't expect Raven to be some heavy set, lesbian woman who makes podcasts on YouTube. People just never saw this for Raven Simone. Raid does not work. Stop buying that shit. Why the fuck when I see a roach, it takes literally half the bottle just to kill it? Why when I spray it, that shit is already running like fucking 2 inches, 2 feet behind the fucking fridge, behind the fucking trash can? Raid doesn't work. Them shits are genetically modified mutant roaches nowadays, and these roaches are resistant to it. If you want roaches to die, go get you some fucking borax powder or some diatomaceous earth powder. That shit will kill any fucking insect that even crosses its path the minute they even absorb it or touch it. It literally shatters their insides. So get that shit and stop using Raid. That shit doesn't work. It's a fucking waste of money and it's overpriced as fuck for 1 can. Men wearing bonnets is weird as fuck. What's with this trend of men wearing bonnets? I never knew that that was a thing until the past 5 years. When the fuck did men start wearing bonnets? Like, I know this is weird coming from me, but bonnets? Oh my god. If you can't afford healthcare in your country, please get a passport and travel overseas if necessary. You'd be surprised how much it costs to get a whole checkup in Colombia, Brazil, or even places like China. You can go abroad and get all types of checkups, check your blood levels, your blood sugar levels, find out what kind of potential illnesses you have, and do all types of tests and pap smears and mammograms for so much cheaper, and your insurance probably doesn't even cover that shit in the country you live in. Like, a lot of these things are so much cheaper if you just simply leave America. I get it. You shouldn't have to leave, but you have to, because that's just the way the world is right now, depending on what country you're from. Healthcare is expensive as fuck, and who the fuck has money to pay for insurance every month? A lot of us don't have insurance unless we have a job that offers it, or if you're willing to spend the extra money for something that you're probably only going to use 2 to 3 times a year. So yeah, please do yourself a favor and go overseas and get a passport. It will benefit you in the long haul, and you'll save much more money, and then you'll get a trip out of it. Get a passport. People say fuck you in like 10 different ways. You just need to pay attention and stop being stupid. People treat you how they feel about you, and some of y'all really gotta stop being so stupid and stay away from people who treat you like they don't give a fuck. I don't care who it is, whether it be your mom, your partner, your roommate, a friend, someone you grew up with. Why waste your energy on someone who doesn't care about your feelings? Some of y'all don't realize that the very same person that you keep addressing for doing things that are mean or gaslighting you or telling you you're just too sensitive, they're basically telling you fuck you, but just in a different way. Like, some people just aren't bold to outright tell you fuck you, I don't care about your feelings. They'll just tell you in a different way. Like, people who cross boundaries and borrow your things without asking. People who, use your resources and drain your fucking energy and then just simply just don't care when you react or tell them to chill out or say, hey, like, I don't appreciate that. Or when you just make it clear to them that you're not comfortable with how they're treating you or someone around you, whether it be your mother-in-law or whoever it is. People say fuck you in multiple ways. Y'all just aren't paying attention. People aren't bold. Bitches aren't bold. Because they think that if they do speak their mind and tell you how the fuck they really feel about you, that they'll burn the bridge and they'll seem like that they're the aggressor. People are scared of being made out to be the problem because they care about their own image and self-esteem and how they're perceived to others. And say fuck you in multiple different ways. So read the room, bitch. That was definitely some opinions. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Give your thoughts, opinions in the comment section down below. And yeah, that's that. Choice out this bitch.
I'm in my pain with this finger, singing my life with his words, healing me softly with his song, healing me softly with his song, telling my whole life with his word, killing me softly with his word. La 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 la. Oh, la. Oh, ah. Stroking my pain with his finger, singing my life with his words, killing me softly with his song, killing me softly with his words, telling my whole life with his word, killing me softly with his words. Thank you.